perhaps this dose of COVID, we hope that Joe Biden gets through that with no trouble. But perhaps that's kind of timely because he needs to sit down and have a good, long, hard look at himself.
Well, I've assumed that, I mean, yes, the COVID, I'm not denying the genuineness of his COVID illness. Of course, I don't have any idea how bad it is or otherwise, but it might be the opportunity he needs to say, well, my health isn't perhaps as good as I thought it would be. I mean, it's not just about how he feels now, by the way. Yeah. He wants to run for another 4 years. So I think he might use that as an opportunity to pull out, which means the Democrats have very quickly got to choose a new candidate. And if they choose Kamala Harris, the vice president, then my guess is that they will be guaranteed to lose.
Well,
no
exactly.
matter what. So they need to choose someone else.
Well, their convention's a month away. So if he were to make an announcement in the next few days, they've got weeks to look at that and have an open convention and maybe come up with a completely fresh ticket at the convention. It'll be unorthodox, but it might be just what they need. Just before we move on, though, I want to talk about the vice presidential candidate, the running mate that Donald Trump has chosen, J.D. Vance. I've not met him, but I've always been fascinated by his career since reading Hillbilly Elegy. And he gave his major set-piece speech at the convention today. Here's a bit of that.
As tradesmen scrambled for jobs, houses stopped being built. The lack of good jobs, of course, led to stagnant wages. And then the Democrats flooded this country with millions of illegal aliens. Joe Biden's inflation crisis, my friends, is really an affordability crisis.
Yeah, very smart, very impressive man, former Marine as well. But Alexander, he reminds me, the fact that he's this working class bloke with such a tough background made good, he's almost the embodiment, the American version of the Howard Battler, isn't he?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. Conservative candidates in Western countries win elections if they can win over what used to be called lower middle class people or tradies, those kinds of people. And if they can't win that constituency, where the Conservatives in the UK at the recent election failed, if they can't win that constituency, they're not going to win an election. So J.D. Vance is exactly what the Republicans need to target that particular community, to target, if you like, the tradies. And he has all the background, but not just that. He has the intellect to pull it off as well.
Absolutely.
A very smart choice of candidate. I mean, we might think some of his language doesn't resonate much in Australia. Well, don't worry about that. He's not running for election in Australia. He's running for election in America.
Yeah, it resonates big time, particularly in the Midwest. Thanks for joining us, Alexander. Appreciate it.